Hey Redondo, I'm back. Today we're going to talk about unhealthy relationships and what they look and feel like and when they become abusive. We're also going to talk about how to improve some of the relationships you have now in your life. In our last video, I had asked you to rate a relationship in your life, right? And I asked you if you were interested in improving it, making it a point or two higher. So when we look at our facts of relationships, I'm going to show you how to do just that. Relationships are actually on a spectrum, and it can be really difficult sometimes to tell when a relationship has moved on the spectrum from healthy to maybe unhealthy, or unhealthy to all the way to abusive. Okay, so this is a great little chart that breaks it down a little bit, where you can kind of see in healthy relationships what you can expect. So both people, both you and your partner, are communicating, you're respectful, you can trust each other, you're honest, the relationship feels equal and balanced, you enjoy personal time away from each other and together, and you make choices together. You both contribute financially, or there's no power difference financially. In unhealthy relationships, people are not communicating, they might be disrespectful, not being honest, or you can't feel like you can trust your partner. Maybe someone's trying to take control of another person. Maybe they're only spending time with each other, nobody else. There's an imbalance in their relationship with others. When things move all the way over into abusive, this is the difference. It's when the communication becomes hurtful or harmful or threatening in some way. So someone might, use more name calling, or, they're mean, or they cut someone down instead of not just communicating. There'll be mistreatment and accusations that the other person maybe is cheating or is doing something dishonest and that sort of thing. They will absolutely deny that their actions are abusive, and they will begin becoming controlling and maybe even isolating their partner from others because they don't want them telling others what's going on. And sometimes when people are in an unhealthy relationship, it can be difficult to know or recognize when it's moved over to abusive. So in the last video, we talked about feedback and feelings. If you want to improve your relationships, this is a place you can do that. Okay, let's take a look at how we give and receive feedback first, and then we'll talk about how it's important to understand and be in touch with our feelings, and also know how to share them with others in a way that they can hear us. When there is feedback that needs to be given, or someone wants to share something with someone that they've done that they were not happy with, there's a potential conflict here. There is a great way to handle conflict in a healthy way that will help you get what you want more, and will also allow someone to really hear what you're saying. Okay. And I like to say it's good to sandwich your beef. And I know that sounds silly, but your beef is your problem. What's your issue? What's wrong? And the way you sandwich it is, I like to start with what's good before I talk about what's not. Okay, so start with what's good, then what's not, and then the end, you share what you like to do about it, your solution to the problem, what you'd like to see happen next time, something like that. I think that's really important when you're sharing your feelings, is to talk about and own them. You want to own your feelings. Okay, so instead of saying, you made me feel bad today, say, I felt bad today when this happened. Okay. It's just a little spin on words that can make a huge difference and make someone feel less likely to have to defend themselves, and actually hear what you have to say instead. Okay. If you want to repair or improve a relationship, we got to work on how we give attention. All right. And when we give attention, I think it's important that we listen better. We all could be better listeners, right? I mean, this is a skill, a long lost skill, I think. So, one of the things that I think is helpful is to simply just be curious about people and what they have to share with you. And if you stop thinking about what you're going to say next and truly listen and show you're listening by paraphrasing or repeating what they've said, it sounds like you had a great weekend, right? Reflecting, I can hear you're really upset. Making eye contact and using continuing responses like, and then what happened? Uh-huh. Okay, and then what? Right? Those sort of things make someone feel like you're interested in what they have to say. And that makes people feel heard and important. And it improves relationships if you can improve your skill of listening. So simple. And give people your attention. That means not being distracted. It means not, looking at your phone, giving someone eye contact when they're sharing something with you, especially when it's important, right? Especially when it's important. Sharing and communication. If you really want to work on your relationships, work on how you communicate. Be a better communicator and learn to cheer for people and ask them to cheer for you. Tell them when you need support and all of that stuff. It's so important. Okay. Now, something to understand and know about communication is that we communicate in three main ways. Okay. So there's our body language, there's our tone, and then there's our words. And a lot of times people are worried about what they want to say, when a lot of times your body and the way you sound is going to speak louder than anything you have to say. So if you want to be a good communicator, work on how you can use your tone more and your body language to convey things that you want someone to feel, a friend to feel, or a partner to feel. So if you want to be a better listener, for example, check in with your body language. Well, what does that look like? Eye contact, facing someone, maybe leaning in, looking interested when they're talking, right? That's how your body language can communicate. I want to listen to you better. Okay. And using your tone, right? And sounding curious about people, those sort of things. All right. A couple more things and we'll be wrapped up. Trust and time. For healthier communication, you need to make sure when you are communicating that you find the right time to do it. Okay, make time. If you can, talk face to face. Do not attack. Be open and honest about your feelings. Check your body language. Make sure you're not looking closed off and you are listening to your partner. And use the 48-hour rule. A 48-hour rule is if something bothers you and you don't get over it in 48 hours, or if it's really upsetting, maybe waiting a day or two to talk about something. But having that 48-hour rule sometimes is helpful. Relationships that are not healthy are based on power and control, not equality and respect. In the earlier parts of a relationship, it may feel like some of these things aren't a big deal. Maybe someone gets insecure or jealous, or maybe they yell or say something mean to you sometime. But remember that this is always a choice. It's a choice, and we all deserve to be respected. And I don't think it's okay to treat someone this way. And abuse of any kind, there's no excuse for it. Dating violence can happen to anyone, regardless of their race, religion, sexual orientation, gender, any of that. Dating violence could be physical. It could be pushing, slapping, pinching, choking, pushing, shoving, any of those things physically. It could be emotional or verbal, like putting you down, embarrassing you in public. It could be threatening you in any way, or telling you what to do or what to wear, who you can and can't dance with.
Whenever we were not together and I'd be trying to hang out with my boys, have a little free time with them, Cell phone would blow up constantly. Always wanting to know, where are you at? What are you doing? What time are you coming over? Well, I don't know. Every 30 seconds I had to pick up the phone. And then, of course, if I don't answer it, then I have a voicemail, text message, where are you at? What are you doing? There's never any free time.
I was 15 years old, and for the first month and a half, it was perfect. I couldn't ask for more, but I guess things just weren't going well, and so we broke up, and we get back together, and we break up. I don't know how many times, probably over a dozen, but he, said I shouldn't wear makeup, or I shouldn't wear that shirt because it shows too much, or I shouldn't wear those shorts because they're too short, or just stuff like that.
Go into class! Who do you think you are?
There's also sexual abuse, where somebody may coerce someone into something they don't want to do sexually. This might also include things around sexting or sharing sex, things like that, for revenge or exerting some sort of power or control. Financial dating violence might include demanding access to someone's bank account, or maybe even making someone feel like they're owed something because they paid for something for them.
Anytime we went anywhere, it was always me that was reaching in my wallet to pull out, for the bills, for the clothes, for the movies, for the concert tickets. We both had part-time jobs. Why didn't she offer to pay for anything? And then she started to disrespect me in front of my friends, making jokes about me, flirting with other guys, just bringing me down in front of other people. I don't want that.
Yeah. And then there's also digital dating violence. And this would be with computers. So making someone share their passwords or following them, frequently looking through someone's phone or their social media accounts. If you're in a relationship that you don't want to be in anymore and you need to break up, I have a few tips for you. Okay. First, if you're on the fence, you're not 100% sure if you want to break up with this person, I think making a pros and cons list can be very helpful. So just take a sheet of paper, fold it in half, write pros, cons, a line down the middle, and literally just write what's great and what's not. Okay, that'll help you. If you decide you need to break up, you need to prepare. Think about what you're going to say in advance. And I think if you sandwich what you're going to say, maybe start with how great the relationship has been or what was good about it, right? What was good about the relationship first before you get to what wasn't. And then what you want to do about it will be last. And maybe that could be that you hope to stay friends, or you hope that things blow over someday. But prepare. Think about how you want to handle things and have an idea of a couple little script lines that you might want to say. Okay? Pick the right spot. And if you can, do this in person, face to face, at a minimum on FaceTime or Skype or something like that. Okay? So definitely pick a place that's comfortable for the both of you. Somewhere that is maybe mutual ground might be best instead of at somebody's home. And be respectful when you do break up with someone. Try not to blame anyone. Take responsibility for your part. And maybe just you guys weren't a fit. It doesn't have to be dramatic, okay? It can be that this wasn't the right person for you, and it's not something wrong with them or with you. It just wasn't a fit. And I hope that you make a clean break and you stick with your decision. Once you break up, don't do this wishy-washy back and forth stuff. Stick with your decision, and I think everybody will be happier in the end when you get to move on, okay? Breakups can be hard, but like I said, they don't have to be dramatic. And not everyone is going to be the right person for you. And it's okay to date and to figure out what you're looking for, and if someone is not a fit for that, it's a good idea to end it sooner than later, right? These relationships do come to an end and things will be okay. I'm so glad that you joined me this week. Thank you for listening to me, and I hope that something I said was helpful. There is one more video that we'll have on consent coming up in another day or two, and there's gonna be some really good information in there, and I hope that you glean something great from our time together this week. All right. Have a great week. See you later. Bye-bye.